play. Round one, fight.
Welcome to our Isuzu Amigo versus Ford Bronco build series, in which we take our bone stock 2002 Isuzu Amigo and try and build it into something that's almost as cool, yet more capable off-road than a brand new 2021 Ford Bronco, but at a fraction of the price. It's currently March of 2022, and in Bronco news, Ford has suspended all Bronco orders effective March 8th because they can't keep up with demand. And since you can't even place an order for a Bronco right now, that seems like a great time for us to get to work on our 2002 Isuzu Amigo. After we brought the Isuzu home from the used car lot in Utah, we started to notice a lot of little things that we wanted to fix, including this loose battery tie-down bracket. Now, if we want the Amigo to blast through the dunes and desert like the Bronco can be seen doing in Ford promotional videos, then we need to make sure that this battery is fixed and secure within the engine compartment. Now, we could have just replaced this strap with a new one or one from a junkyard, but we decided to go a different route, and we'll go into more detail on that here in a second. This also seemed like an opportune time to upgrade our battery, which is something we plan to do anyway, so we went down to our local Batteries Plus and picked up one of their X2 Power AGM batteries in a 24F group size. As far as securing the battery, we took a chance and ordered this Barnes 4-wheel drive Group 24 size single battery box, hoping that the case on the Odyssey is nearly identical or the same as our X2 Power battery case. And the battery box was not the only part that we ordered. Shortly after I bought the Isuzu, I figured out that there wasn't any sort of external transmission cooler aside from the normal routing through the radiator. I searched around and found this Duraley fluid cooler with an integrated E-fan. It has 11/32 inch inlet and outlet hose barbs, which matches the hose size that runs from the transmission to the radiator. And certainly we could have chosen some other cooler and used some adapter fittings, but in my mind, adapter fittings are just more opportunities for leaks that I'd like to avoid. Mounting the cooler would be the next problem to solve, and since Isuzu used some small holes at the top and bottom of the AC condenser to mount the condenser fan, I figured we could use those same holes to mount our cooler with some custom brackets. First, I had to use a 1/4-inch drill bit to elongate the holes just a little bit so I could get a square nut back there. After I confirmed that I could get the 1/4-inch hardware to mount up to the condenser frame, I fabricated some custom brackets to mount the Duraley cooler to the condenser. Back to the battery box install, it was pretty straightforward. It came with the necessary mounting screws. I just had to line the box up on top of the battery tray that's attached to the inner fender to make sure that I had clearance around my fuse box and enough space for the battery. I then marked the holes for drilling and figured out how to attach the hardware to secure the box to the battery tray. I did have to cut a socket access hole on the inner fender on the passenger side, which you can see me doing here. Once everything was mocked up, I took my battery box and the custom brackets that I made for the fluid cooler to our local powder coat shop. I would add real quick that I did have to clearance one corner of the battery box to make some room around the fuse box, which wasn't a big deal at all. A few days later, we had our parts back from powder coat, and I was able to install the new X2 Power battery and mount the fluid cooler. I should add that Barnes markets this battery box for the Odyssey battery, and although the Odyssey battery is made by the same company that makes the X2 Power battery, the casings aren't 100% identical. There is this little raised fin on the side of the X2 Power battery that's not apparently present on the Odyssey battery, and as such, I had to bend the side brackets on this battery box just a few degrees, but once I did that, the X2 Power battery fit just fine. Now, of course, I still need to plumb the trans cooler and figure out the wiring for the electronic fan, but that'll be a different project for a later day. If you guys have any questions about the install in this video, just leave them in the comments section below. If you want to stay up to speed on the latest updates on our Ford Bronco inspired 2002 Isuzu Amigo build project, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. It helps us out a lot. As always, thanks for taking time to check out our videos. We really appreciate it. We'll be back soon with another update on this Amigo build, and until then, go out, build something.